Good evening and a very warm welcome. You're watching Verdict 2013. I'm Sana Khan. Here's all the election-related news for you over the next 30 minutes. First up, the headlines. Final list of candidates is out for Delhi Assembly elections. 810 candidates in fray after 90 more pull out of contest. Hectic campaigning in Madhya Pradesh as date of elections nears. Congress BJP hold multiple rallies to woo the voters. An election commission disapproves Narendra Modi's defense of not violating the model code of conduct, asks him to be careful in the future. A total of 810 candidates will be contesting for the December 4 polls to the 70-member Delhi Assembly. Nomination papers of 900 candidates were accepted after scrutiny on 19th November. 90 candidates have withdrawn their nominations on Thursday. After scrutiny, nomination papers of 900 candidates were accepted, but 210 of those were rejected due to faults in their applications. Now, in the three-cornered assembly election, Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit and Aam Aadmi Party's Arvind Kejriwal will face off at New Delhi's assembly seat, while BJP's nominee for top post Harsh Vardhan will contest from Krishnanagar constituency. In 2008 assembly elections, 875 candidates had contested. The total number of contesting candidates in 2003 assembly elections stood at 817. And the Election Commission has disapproved of Narendra Modi's controversial remark against Congress during poll campaigning in Chhattisgarh and has asked him to be more careful in his public discourse in future. Taking strong note of Modi's remarks, the poll panel said it was not satisfied with his explanation in reply to its notice for the model code violation. Modi had replied to the poll panel on Wednesday denying a violation of model code of conduct. In its reply, the Commission said, and I quote, "Having regard to the totality of facts and circumstances of the case and submissions and contentions made by you in your reply under reference, the Commission expresses its disapprobation in the matter and expects that you will stand by your above-referred commitment and to be more careful in your public discourse in the future," unquote. And as campaigning for the November 25th Assembly polls in Madhya Pradesh reached its crescendo, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi addressed two rallies in Balaghat and Mandsaur. Addressing a large crowd, he cited two landmark legislations to back his claim that the Congress believes in delivering on promises it makes. He said the Congress ensured to bring in the right to information, the Food Security Bill, to help the people of the country. He slammed the BJP government in Madhya Pradesh for failing to live up to its promise. He said the BJP has not fulfilled its promises to waive farm loans up to 50,000 rupees as promised ahead of the last assembly elections. The election campaigning in Madhya Pradesh comes to an end tomorrow. People will be voting on Monday to elect a new 230-member assembly.
जब तक हम गरीब का हाथ नहीं पकड़ेंगे, कमजोर का हाथ नहीं पकड़ेंगे, तब तक ये देश आगे नहीं जा सकता। इसलिए हम रोजगार योजना लाते हैं, भोजन का अधिकार लाते हैं, राइट टू इंफॉर्मेशन लाते हैं, क्योंकि हम आपको शक्ति देना चाहते हैं। शिक्षा का अधिकार दिया क्योंकि हम आपको शक्ति देना चाहते हैं, आम आदमी को शक्ति देना चाहते हैं।
And BJP's Prime Ministerial candidate Narendra Modi concluded his poll campaign in Madhya Pradesh today. He addressed a rally in Khandwa. Modi said during Congress's rule, the electricity supply situation in Madhya Pradesh was very poor. But under Shivraj Singh Chauhan's leadership, this has improved drastically. He accused the Congress of being arrogant for not distributing excess wheat lying in government godowns to poor as directed by the Supreme Court. He then urged the people of the state to vote for development and not support vote bank politics. The assembly elections in the state are scheduled to be held on 25th November.
मन लुभावने वादे करके पार्टी चुनाव के मैदान में नहीं उतरी है। एक तरफ मन लुभावने वादे हैं, तो दूसरी तरफ भाजपा सरकार का विकास का काम है।
Now, despite a large number of Muslim voters, the BJP has fielded only one Muslim candidate out of 230 seats at stake in the Madhya Pradesh Assembly polls. The party is using its prime ministerial candidate Narendra Modi to campaign extensively in the state to win the heart of voters. Now, despite Modi's image, it hopes to woo the Muslim voters as well there. But will the party's strategy work out? Here's what the Muslim voters in the state of Madhya Pradesh had to say.
Around 40 lakh Muslims in Madhya Pradesh constitute 6% of the total population. Although they have a small population, but they will play an important role in deciding the fate of at least 12 constituencies. Despite this, BJP has fielded only one Muslim candidate in the upcoming assembly elections.
शिवराज सिंह चौहान ने प्रदेश के मुसलमानों को अपने साथ लिया है। उन्होंने जितनी योजनाएं जनता के फायदे के लिए रखी हैं, उसमें मुसलमान बराबर का शरीक है।
After BJP came in power 10 years ago, there has been only one Muslim MLA on the 230 assembly seats.
मुसलमानों के लिए कोई जगह नहीं है, कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है मुसलमानों की इमदाद की, हमें कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है। मोदी साहब कहते हैं हमें किसी भी किस्म की कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, मुसलमान वोट दे या नहीं दे।
कांग्रेस पार्टी 66 साल तक मुसलमानों का एक्सप्लॉयटेशन ही करती रही है। उन्होंने मुसलमानों के लिए कुछ नहीं किया। ये सच्चर कमेटी की जो रिपोर्ट है ना, ये कांग्रेस के 50 वर्ष का कच्चा चिट्ठा है।
सच्चर कमेटी की जहाँ तक बात रही तो केंद्र में उसने क्या करा, क्योंकि उससे जो मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी को जो लाभ मिलना चाहिए था वो नहीं मिला। लेकिन शिवराज सिंह चौहान ने उसको जो मुसलमान हैं या बच्चे हैं या सरकारी मुलाजिम जो हैं उन पे वो चीज़ थोपी नहीं।
Though Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan enjoys support from the educated quarter of the urban Muslims, he has not implemented the Sachar Committee recommendations and the Prime Minister's 15-point program in the state. Aligarh Muslim University has also failed to acquire the land for its center in Bhopal.
शिवराज सिंह चौहान जो हैं वो बहुत अच्छे हैं, वो हर चीज़ में सपोर्ट करते हैं।
मुसलमानों को भी शिवराज सिंह चौहान ने काफ़ी प्रोग्रेस करा है, बहुत डेवलपमेंट करा है, उनके लिए स्कीमें निकालेंगे। हम सब लोग शिवराज सिंह चौहान को पसंद भी करते हैं।
शिवराज सिंह का उनका अच्छा वो है, काम अच्छे किए हैं इनने।
During recent times, several Muslim youths have been put behind the bars on terror charges. The Chauhan government, however, is boasting about the fact that the state has seen no major communal violence in the last 10 years. It remains to be seen whether that is enough for BJP to secure Muslim vote this time. Arfa Khanum in Bhopal for Rajya Sabha TV.
And my colleague Arfa Khanum, who went on to get us this report from Madhya Pradesh, now joins me live from New Delhi. Arfa, a very interesting report over there. What's the BJP strategy here? I'm trying to understand. They've just fielded one candidate and the electorate seems to be quite happy with the way things are functioning. What's the BJP strategy to woo the Muslim voters and get them to vote this time again?
Sana, you can see the great paradox here in Madhya Pradesh. I tried to know the mind of the rural viewer as well as the urban voters there in Madhya Pradesh. I saw that the urban voter, which has actually been a traditional vote bank of Bharatiya Janata Party among the Hindu voters, as well as I could see it in Madhya Pradesh that a lot of Muslims from the urban areas were quite happy and with Shivraj Singh Chauhan, and he seems to be quite popular in the state. Like I could see that in very upscale areas of Bhopal, there were houses which were owned and rented by Muslims, which is unlike other places, say Bombay, Delhi, Kolkata for that matter, or Bangalore. But they seem to be quite satisfied with the way this BJP government has dealt with Muslims in Madhya Pradesh. But when you cross the border of the capital and go on to rural areas and not so urban areas, which means I might include the towns of Madhya Pradesh, then you would see the reality behind the strategy which you called. There are a couple of schemes which like if I can mention Kanyadan scheme or say Ladli schemes. People say that, or maybe Tirath Yatra scheme for that matter. These schemes have really have some great appeal among people, and they think that probably the government is not discriminating when it comes to such schemes. But when you see people, students studying in schools, or you see them going to colleges, or you see the number of Muslims Muslims getting jobs in government circles, government sector or maybe private sectors, then you would know the reality behind that. And one more thing which is very important is that Madhya Pradesh is one of those states where Muslim youth have been illegally detained, or maybe they were arrested on frivolous grounds, and there's a lot of resentment among the community members in Madhya Pradesh I've seen. And maybe besides the urban voter, you would feel that the rural voter feels just the same.
Right, Arfa, so from what you're saying, the BJP seems to be holding on to the Muslim vote bank for now. Anything special that the Congress might just get in to woo the Muslim voters, or do you think more or less that is sorted? Because the Muslim voters, as you've been telling about, there's a great paradox that we see.
Yeah, unfortunately the situation is grim actually. While the BJP has given ticket to one person out of 230 assembly seats, Congress is faring a little better and has given 5 tickets to people there in Madhya Pradesh. So I can't really say that there is any sort of a different strategy Congress party is adopting to, but I would say largely that there are 3-4 things which probably will appeal to the voters, especially the Muslim voters in Madhya Pradesh. One is the status of education. The report also said that the Chief Minister has actually outrightly rejected and declined the demand of implementing the recommendation of such a committee, as well as there are many other things which are unofficially done. Like the report says that now this is not official, that you do the Bhojan Mantra, or for that matter Vande Matram, and couple of other things. But unofficially I could observe that in schools it is still being practiced.
All right. Arfa, I'm sorry we have just time for about that much information right now, but thanks so much for throwing some light on the issues and the Muslim vote, the strategy that the BJP is adopting this time, pitching in Narendra Modi. Let's see what happens. Thanks so much for joining me for the moment. We'll take a very quick break here on Verdict 2013. I'll be back. Thanks for staying with us. Now, the Churhat Assembly in Siddhi district of Madhya Pradesh has been a stronghold of Congress for many years. This time too, they are fielding Ajay Singh Rahul, son of former Union Human Resource Minister and Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Arjun Singh. But discontent among voters is growing over several issues, which makes Congress's job a tough one. Here's a look at why.
Churhat is one of the 4 assembly seats of Siddhi district in the Vindhya range of Madhya Pradesh. The region has seen Congress dominance under the influence of prominent leader and former Union Minister Arjun Singh. His son Ajay Singh Rahul has been Congress MP from here for 5 times. Despite being a high-profile constituency, the region still lacks the basic facilities like health, employment and roads.
हम बीएससी करना चाहते हैं, लेकिन यहीं बीएससी की कॉलेज नहीं है, इसलिए हम लोगों को 26 किलोमीटर दूर जाना पड़ता है।
सिर्फ वोट लेने के लिए जब वोट का समय होता है, उसी समय हर एक नेता यहां आने की कोशिश करते हैं, अन्यथा भोपाल के अलावा यहां चुरहट क्षेत्र को कौन देख रहा है?
Being a hilly area, roads are only connectivity to Churhat, but they are in very poor condition. Travelling either to Rewa or Siddhi is a tough task. Shardendu Tiwari, the BJP candidate from Churhat, blames the local MLA for the plight and the central government for neglecting the region.
3 महीने पहले शिवराज सिंह जी विकास की बात पर आशीर्वाद यात्रा की थी और हैट्रिक लेने की बात कर रहे थे। जैसे चुनाव शुरू हुआ, अब विकास की बातें ठंडे बस्ते में चली गईं और चेहरे पर चुनाव आ गया है।
हमारे यहाँ भी फैक्ट्रियाँ आई हैं, सिंगरौली में आई हैं, सीधी में आई हैं, लेकिन दुर्भाग्य की बात रही है कि यहाँ के जो विधायक रहे हैं, उन्होंने कोई ऐसा प्रयास नहीं किया। यहाँ पर हमें स्किल्ड लेबर नहीं मिल पाया है। हमारे यहाँ ITIs नहीं थी, पॉलिटेक्निक नहीं थे, इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेजेस नहीं थे।
In 2003 and 2008, Congress defeated BJP candidates Govind Prasad and Ajay Pratap Singh respectively. This time, BJP hopes to put up a tough contest for Congress here. BSP has given ticket to Chandrabhan Jaiswal, while Apnadal Samajwadi Party and Lok Jan Shakti Party are also fielding their candidates from Churhat Assembly. With Panchanand Mishra in Churhat, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And the Chhatarpur district in Madhya Pradesh has been facing water and electricity problems like the Bundelkhand region. Political parties are busy exploiting the issues to wooing the voters, and in all likelihood, this place is set for a two-way contest between the Congress and the BJP. Here's a closer look.
6 seats are at stake in Chhatarpur district when Madhya Pradesh goes to polls on the 25th of November. The district, which suffers from water and power shortage, has been a stronghold for BJP, but it is now accused of not doing enough for the region. This place has water shortage like other districts in the Bundelkhand region. Many villages in the district complain of power shortages.
कांग्रेस ने जैसा छोड़ा था वैसा ही है। सिर्फ इन्होंने अपना विकास किया, अपने ही घर भरे हैं इधर के जितने भी नेता और वो लोग रहे उन्होंने। यहाँ पर एक भी ऐसा उद्योग स्थापित नहीं हुआ, एक भी कोई बांध स्थापित नहीं हुआ। जितने भी इधर पे जो उपलब्धियां आप इस जिले में देखेंगे वो सारी की सारी कांग्रेस की देन थी।
Chhatarpur is getting ready for a two-way contest between arch rivals Congress and BJP this time. The Saffron Party holds supremacy here with 4 assembly seats. The Malhara Assembly constituency, won by Uma Bharti's Bharatiya Janashakti Party, is also under the BJP after it merged with the Saffron Party. The Congress managed to win only 1 seat in the last elections.
जो इन्होंने विकास के वादे किए थे, कहीं पर भी आप देखेंगे इस बुंदेलखंड के क्षेत्र में कहीं भी विकास नहीं हुआ। दूसरा हमारा मुद्दा होगा, सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा होगा कि भ्रष्टाचार का मुद्दा होगा।
The BSP had put up a good fight in the last assembly elections. The party, however, lost its seat to Congress in Rajanagar and to BJP in Chhatarpur constituency.
माननीय शिवराज सिंह चौहान मुख्यमंत्री जी का विकास और पूरा मध्य प्रदेश जो विकास किया है, गरीबों के लिए विकास किया है, किसानों के लिए काम किया है, इन सभी मुद्दों के लेकर के भारतीय जनता पार्टी छतरपुर जिले के अंदर चुनाव लड़ रही है।
हमारे जिले में 6 असेंबली कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी हैं, जिसमें कुल 1272 मतदान केंद्र हैं। इसमें से 369 क्रिटिकल मतदान केंद्र की श्रेणी में आते हैं। इन पर हम सभी पर एक माइक्रो ऑब्जर्वर लगाएंगे।
Chhatarpur has been in news for booth capturing in the past elections. It is one of the key concerns of the poll panel. The district administration has taken strict measures to avoid any such incidents on the polling and counting days.
Corruption in bureaucracy and delays in implementation of government schemes are critical issues in Chhatarpur district. With camera person Dinesh Rai, I am Raj Kamal Rao for Rajya Sabha TV.
And agriculture-related facilities, resettlement and rehabilitation of the Indra Sagar Dam on the Narmada River are some of the major issues in East Nimar district of Madhya Pradesh. Small-time farmers here complain of neglect by political parties. The district is a stronghold of the BJP and is likely to retain their bastion when the state goes to polls on 25th November.
The town Khandwa is the headquarters of East Nimar district. Due to its location on the map, it was earlier a place connecting the rail routes of all 4 major regions. Khandwa district was surrendered by the Marathas to the British Raj in 1818 and later became a part of the central provinces and Berar. Majority of the voters belong to rural areas and are involved in agriculture.
अर्बन एरिया में हम लोग देखते हैं कि यहाँ पर एपैथी के कारण से लोग वोट डालने के लिए कम आते हैं। तो इसके कारण जो है बहुत सारे लोकल फैक्टर उसमें काम करते हैं। तो इसमें हम लोग स्वीप प्लान के माध्यम से लोगों को मोटिवेट कर रहे हैं कि मतदान आपका अधिकार है और आपको इसमें बढ़ चढ़कर भाग लेना चाहिए।
According to the district administration, the Pandhasa Tehsil has been experiencing micro-earthquake activities. About 1,200 tremors were recorded in 3 months.
Khandwa district was earlier known as Nimar. Khandwa is the birthplace of renowned actor and singer Kishore Kumar and also renowned writer Makhanlal Chaturvedi. The district has 4 assembly constituencies and all 4 are held by the BJP. Irrigation of farmland is a big issue here.
The region is a stronghold of the Saffron Party. Khandwa, Mandhata, Pandhana and Harsud assembly constituencies are all held by the BJP. In 2008 assembly polls, the party won all these seats with substantial margin.
संभव नहीं है कि 50 वर्षों का जो बिगड़ा हुआ ढर्रा था उसको 10 वर्ष में हम पूर्ण कर सके। आवश्यकताएं भी अनंत होती है, आवश्यकता मनुष्य की बढ़ते ही जाती है, मगर जितना प्रयास इन 10 वर्षों में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार ने किया, इसके पहले 50 वर्षों में भी कांग्रेस की सरकार नहीं कर पाई थी।
हम चाहेंगे कि खंडवा का जो भी विधायक बने वो सबसे पहले तो सरकार बीजेपी की हो या सरकार कांग्रेस की हो, सरकार से लड़ के ये काम वो करे। निश्चित ही सरकार कांग्रेस की बनेगी तो मैं समझता हूँ कि दिक्कत आएगी नहीं, वो रिंग रोड बनेगा और शहर हमारा तरक्की करेगा।
One of the major concerns for the small-time farmers in the Mandla district is that neither the administration nor politicians pay heed to their problems. They often complain about waterlogging in the farming fields. Displacement and rehabilitation of residents is also a major concern in the Harsud region due to Indira Sagar Dam project on the Narmada River. Amritanshu Rai's report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Let's now take you to Seoni, where it's poised to be a tough contest between the BJP and the Congress. All three sitting BJP MLAs are facing anti-incumbency. Road connectivity, railway line and proper education facilities are some of the key factors which will be deciding which way the votes will swing.
Seoni district is rich in timber resources, and teak is the most important tree growing in and around Seoni. Vayangana River is the lifeline of the district. The total forest area in this district is more than 3 lakh hectares. There are more than 16,000 villages in Seoni district, out of which 1,375 villages are either in the forest area or near the forest boundaries.
40% of area of this district is covered by forests. In this district, one national park, Pench National Park, is also there. So mainly here agrarian society, mainly people do agriculture.
The agriculture-rich district has no storage facilities for paddy and soya bean. Government has tried to make arrangements in an open area near Seoni headquarters but could not succeed and farmers lost their crop. Road connectivity to Nagpur has been a serious issue in the district. The national highway that was supposed to connect Seoni to Nagpur has been in controversy and could not come to operation.
सबसे पहले यहाँ की 4 लेन का प्रोजेक्ट पूरा होना था, जो कि वाजपेयी सरकार ने घोषित की थी, परंतु यहाँ के नेताओं ने जो है मिलके 4 लेन का काम टोटल एनवायरनमेंट के नाम पे रुकवा दिया है। सरकार को एक निर्णय ले लेना चाहिए कि उनको हाईवे बनाना है कि नहीं बनाना है।
People demand for jobs in the district. They want the government to establish industries, but much before that, they want good colleges.
20% युवा यहाँ का आज इंजीनियरिंग मेडिकल कॉलेज करने भोपाल इंदौर जाता है, लेकिन हमारे 5 साल से जगह है, सब कुछ है, हर चीज़ की व्यवस्था है, लेकिन अभी तक पिछले 10 साल में ना कोई मेडिकल कॉलेज ना कोई इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज।
Seoni district has 4 assembly constituencies. Balaghat, Seoni and Lakkahandan are reserved for the ST category and Keolari constituency has been reserved for general candidates. The district has at least 50 booths that are identified as sensitive.
In earlier elections, some small violations was there, just like not following 144 CRPC. So cases registered against some people.
In 2008, BJP won 3 seats while the Congress won the remaining Keolari seat. BJP candidate contesting from Seoni is confident about victory this time too.
जनता में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के प्रति एक बहुत अच्छी मानसिकता बनी हुई है और हम जहाँ तक सिवनी विधानसभा क्षेत्र का सवाल है, निश्चित रूप से सिवनी विधानसभा क्षेत्र में भी अनेक समस्याएं हैं जिनके हल की आवश्यकता है, जनता की अपेक्षा है मुझसे।
सिवनी में पानी की समस्या बहुत बनी हुई है, वार्डों में पानी नहीं आता, खाली विकास के नाम से पैसा ले तो लेते हैं परंतु उसे पूरा नहीं करते।
This assembly election will be a stern test of the BJP's hold over these 3 seats amidst growing discontent among voters. With Rajkamal Rao in Seoni, Bureau Report for Rajya Sabha TV.
From Shivni district in Madhya Pradesh to Mizoram in the Champhai district to its northeastern state is a bustling commercial district on the Indian-Myanmar border. This fast-developing district shares almost 50% of the state's border with Myanmar. Champhai is the only place in the state where rice is cultivated on a large scale. Migration from there is one of the biggest challenges of the district.
This is the view of Champhai Valley, which is known as the Rice Bowl of Mizoram. Champhai is one of the oldest places which Mizo people occupied when they moved in from Burma. The frontier district has a special place in the history of Mizoram and its people, as the district has several symbols of early Mizo settlement. The district has been grappling with illegal migration from Myanmar for long, and this is one of the major problems in the area.
Near the Myanmar border, and people also come from Myanmar and also from people from India also go to Myanmar.
The Chins, the ethnic group of Myanmar, migrate to Mizoram for linguistic, cultural and religious proximity with the Mizo. They share a common historic and genetic background. Chins are found working here as maids, labourers, coolies and street vendors.
Champhai district has over 200 kilometers of international border with Myanmar, and security arrangements along the border will be crucial for this district. Champhai has 5 assembly constituencies, of which 4 are held by the Congress party and 1 is with the opposition.
Champhai is a stronghold of the Congress. Langtang, Tuicheng, Champhai North and Champhai South are under Congress rule, while the East Tuipui seat is currently held by the Mizo National Front. The assembly constituencies in Champhai are part of rural constituencies, so the new land use policy is a big positive for the Congress. But it's the infrastructure needs of the district which is driving the politics.
New land use policy, that is for the people, the poor people. And we are for health care. We have to take up this health care and education and development also.
You see the Champhai location, what is the development? What is the power infrastructure? What is the economic infrastructure? These infrastructures are not improved.
The failure of the Congress to firm up an alliance could impact its performance here. The opposition Mizo National Front, the Mizoram People's Conference and the Mizoram Democratic Front have formed an alliance called the Mizoram Democratic Alliance. MNF has decided to contest 31 seats of the 40-member assembly, leaving 8 seats for MPC and 1 seat for the MDF. The Congress is banking on its flagship program, the new land use policy, for victory. With Amritanshu Rai in Champhai district in Mizoram, Bureau Report for Rajya Sabha TV.
That's all on Verdict 2013. We'll be back tomorrow same time with more election-related stories. Goodbye.